And welcome back to Attorneys on Call. Once again, at any time, you can call the 800 number on your screen or go to whitleylawfirm.com. It's a free consultation. Sheila is joining us in studio and has shared some of her story. And the Whitley Law Firm represented her after an accident about a year and a half ago. And before we went to the break, Bob, you were talking about what the insurance company for the responsible party was using as a type of defense in this case. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Well, Drew, and we picked up on it pretty early. Once we knew that Sheila was going to have a prolonged recovery period, and once we got a little wind of the sudden incapacitation defense that the insurance company was talking about, we decided the best thing for Sheila was for us to go ahead and file a lawsuit.
Okay.
So we filed a lawsuit pretty early.
Okay.
And in the course of a lawsuit, you get to take depositions. You get to question the other parties, and Sheila had to submit to a deposition from their lawyer. And we learned that this young man that was driving the other car had a medical condition that affected his physical ability.
Okay.
That would happen, not all the time, but enough that in our opinion, he should have never been driving. He certainly shouldn't be driving on a highway, maybe in a residential area where he's going at a slow speed and can control his vehicle enough to stop it. And I think, you know, when I think about and I hear Sheila talk about it, I think part of the problem, even with her recovery, was the fact that she really got hit by somebody that was doing something almost deliberately. I mean, he was deliberately driving that vehicle. His father was a physician, a medical doctor, who should have known better. And I think that always has a little bit to do with the effect that it has on our clients. You know, I can tell a difference with a client who's been hit and injured by a drunk driver as opposed to maybe an older lady who lets her foot slip off the brake.
Okay.
And I do, and in her case, Sheila's case, it was more like a drunk driver, so a deliberate act. So what we did is we retained the services of a neurologist in Greenville, North Carolina, that we consulted with about the medical disease or condition that this young man had. And that's when we learned about the fact and kind of concluded that he should not have been driving without a lot of warnings and maybe even some vehicle modifications. In fact, in case he lost the use of his leg, he could use his hands to stop the vehicle. And that's why it looked to Sheila, as she described, like he was driving deliberately
at her.
Right at her, head on. And I think that was her disbelief. You know, it was like, why is this guy doing this?
Yeah.
But I'll let her talk a little. I mean, ask her about her friendly insurance lawyer that had to spend a half a day questioning her.
It was terrible.
Is that right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. He made it seem like that I had done something wrong.
Really?
Yes.
You're the victim in this case, but he's trying to paint you as the problem?
Exactly, exactly. And then he had the nerve to ask me, would I, what was it? Would I apologize to him, Bob? I can't remember what it was.
Well,
could I ever forgive him?
Oh.
That's what he asked me. Could I ever forgive him?
And what'd you tell him?
I get up and look at myself every day. I can't forgive nobody for what they did for me. To me, I was minding my own business.
Right.
He didn't have to be on the road, but he was.
Right.
When he injured me, he went home that day. I went to the hospital for a couple of months. When
you found out, when Bob and Whitley Law Firm found out that he had this medical condition and probably should not have been driving, I imagine you were incensed at that point.
I was. And Bob told me I need to forgive. That's the first part of healing.
Okay. Well, that sounds like healthy advice.
It was healthy advice.
Has it helped?
Didn't take it.
But fortunately, she didn't take my medical advice, but at least she took my legal advice.
I took his legal advice.
Yeah.
So this was a year and a half ago, and you're still recovering. So this is a long process. But how are you doing now, Sheila? Tell us about how your mental state is. I know you're back to work. How are you doing? And tell us about your recovery.
Well, I'm so thankful to be back to work. I needed work in order to recover. And plus, I work. I work all the time. So it's hard at times, but it's better. It's getting better. getting better. It wasn't like the first day when I went back to work. At least I can move around a little bit better, but I know it's going to always be something.
When you walked out in the studio earlier, you were walking a little bit slow and gingerly. I mean, you had 2 broken legs.
Yes.
But you're getting around on your own 2 feet now.
Yes.
Is it progressively getting better?
It is, and every day at lunchtime, most of the time, I still take a walk around the block, still get the exercise in like I should. Before the accident, I walked a mile every morning.
Right. Really?
Yes.
A mile every day?
Every morning.
Have you ever thought about, I always think about this, how the universe has a way of working the right way for people. And the Whitley Law Firm and you came together, and do you think about that you were meant, they came to you to represent you because that's the way it was supposed to be?
I really feel that way, because without them, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. They took the lead, they took control. They let me have my own opinions, but they advised me. So it was good. It all worked out well.
And do you think, I'm sure that that's helped your physical recovery, right?
Yes, it has.
Because you
It
can
has.
focus on that, and the other stuff, just let the lawyers handle that, right?
Exactly, exactly. Even Bob will call me now and say, you're not doing such a good job with staying in touch.
Oh, okay. Bob's a sensitive man.
Yeah, he is.
Bob, we've just got about 45 seconds to wrap things up. But just this has been a great experience to meet Sheila today.
Well, it has, and I'm just so glad for her that everything turned out right. There were a lot of things that could have gone wrong. First of all, they had more than normal insurance coverage, and she needed more than it. It's not like she got anything close to being even. You know, even is when you can say, well, okay, I've gotten this money. This is even. You know, it's never even. But we're just thankful for her physical recovery.
Sheila, thank you for sharing your story with us
welcome.
today. And thank you for watching Attorneys on Call. We'll see you next time right here. Have a great evening.